We are live. Good morning on Facebook. Let us do what we need to do. It's brilliant to have you guys here this morning. Do you have pens? I have one pen. Thank you very much, Kate. All of my other pens are with Ben Davis, who borrowed my pens and hasn't given them back to me. So I just said a swear word in my head, but I didn't say it out loud, so it's not all bad. But, nobody is perfect. Good morning, everybody. Now, this is definitely a week that I would be encouraging everyone to share this week. Those of you that are on Facebook, don't put this off, because this is a week that I guarantee you're going to get the best of the best information around this subject of procrastination, because it is something which just affects everybody. Everyone suffers from procrastination. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning. Just got a slight issue with the thing on here. But anyway, it doesn't matter. You guys are here. Please share this. Let's get this information out there into the world. I've got a feeling everyone watch the numbers today, because I've got a sneaky suspicion that we will attract record numbers today, tomorrow. Then the numbers will tailor off because people will put off continuing to watch. It's just one of those crazy things that seems to happen a lot. Procrastination, and many of you will start to understand, because there is a science. There are people that have been studying procrastination in universities all over the world because it's something which affects everybody. So what I want you to do is, there is a question that I have put in the Facebook group that I'm asking this question. This is it. What things in your life have you put off? If you made a list of all the things in your life you've procrastinated about, and I'll give you the definition of what procrastination is, but let me give you an overview of what this week is all going to be about. It's going to be about giving you an understanding and awareness of what procrastination is, why you do it, and then help you to stop doing it. Because once you stop doing it, you'll start living your life at a whole new level. Does that make sense? So everything I ask you to do, I would just make sure you just really focus on getting it done. Because I'm not here to waste your time. Your time is valuable. My time is valuable. But I want to give you the best of the best. Does that make sense? So just to recap, what are we going to be doing this week? We're going to be looking at what procrastination is, why you do it, and then really giving you some tips, tools, techniques, strategies to stop doing it. Yes? So if you haven't shared this, please share it, because this is the information that is going to radically change so many people's life. So what is procrastination? Does anyone know what it is? Tell me what you think it is, because like anything, there is an origin to it. With any word, there is an origin to every word. There's an origin to the word curiosity. Where does that word come from? Some people think of curiosity killed the cat. Curiosity comes from a Latin word based on the wanting to learn. And we all have it. We're all naturally curious, every single one of us. You hear two people talking about something which happened to someone, you want to hear the story. There's a part of us that wants to hear the story. But what about the story of your life? What about the story of your life? Are you not curious about the story of your life and where it's going? Probably not as curious as I am. I'm more curious about you than you are of yourself, because maybe you keep procrastinating. So what is procrastinating? It comes from a Latin word, procrastinus, which means to put forwards until tomorrow. To put forwards until tomorrow. That is what procrastination is. And how many of you in your life have done that? At least once in your life. You've put forward, you say, I'll do that tomorrow. Yes? Have you ever done that before? This is what I want you to think about today, because when we spend 5 days on a particular subject, the first day is all about awareness, to become aware. It's just become aware of things, because if awareness is the first key to changing anything. If you're not aware of what you're doing, you'll never really change, because the change isn't yours. You're changed because someone's telling you what to do. But we tend to go back to what we know. That's how we are, who we are. But most of us, if we always do what we've always done, then we'll always get what we've always got. So your biggest challenge is to become aware, like a scientist, to become curious. What in my life have I put off? Have you made a list of all the things in your life that you've put off? What could those things be? Perhaps tell me right now. Tell me some things in your life that you've put off. Put off losing weight. Put off stop smoking. Put off going to the gym. Put off speaking to someone that you've fallen out with. What have you put off? Put off reading a book. What are all the things in your life have you put off? Don't look at it as right or wrong, because that's just pointless. I should have done that. I should have, forget it. That's when you start shaming yourself. We're not looking at that. We're becoming curious. That's why I want you to make a list of all the things that you can think of today. And that list might be long, it might be short, it doesn't matter. Does this make sense to everyone? It's the little things like this that will make the biggest difference to you. So what we need to look at, I did find one pen, but there it is. What we need to look at is help you understand what procrastinate. So you know what it means. It means to put forwards until tomorrow. Yes, you know that now. But the problem with putting things forward to tomorrow is this mystical, magical land that we don't actually know what it is because we're not there yet. So we often put our lives on hold because we say, I'll do that tomorrow. But if you're not really compelled to where going forward somewhere, when tomorrow comes, you'll put something else off. So we have to decide what is important. But the first thing you need to know about procrastination, it is a voluntary delay. It's not like going to the airport and the plane is delayed. You can't do anything about that. That's a different type of delay. So the first thing you need to understand is procrastination is a voluntary delay. This is where voluntary, a voluntary delay, okay? That's the first thing. It's a delay. You are choosing to make that delay. Well, you will find out why you're choosing to make that delay, because there's always a reason why. The second thing is, actually, this should be the second thing, but you know what? We all make mistakes. That's what kind of makes us human. The first thing is you have the intention, right? You have the intention. You have the intention, right? Really important that you understand that. You have the intention. And the worst thing is that if you put this first or second, it doesn't really matter. It's a voluntary delay. You have the intention. Sorry. I'm a little bit fired up right now, and this pen doesn't work properly, but it's all good. It's all good, right? Everyone's good? Everyone happy? Everybody happy? La, 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 la. Hey! So we know it's a voluntary delay. That's what procrastination is. It's when you have the intention. You've got, oh, I'm going to do that. And then you make the delay to do it. But the thing is that makes procrastination so unique is you know that the delay will make you worse off. You know in the back of your mind you will be worse off. I'm not going to use this pen anymore. I'll get my pens back today. I'll go and get them physically. I won't put that off. Right? Does that make sense? So this is the first thing you just need to become very aware of. What is procrastination? Well, it comes from a Latin word. It means to put forwards until tomorrow. Knowing is part of getting better, but it's what you do with this. That's what's going to really count. A lot of people know that. Just the fact that you know this, you think this is going to make any difference? Well, it might, but it's what we're going to do. So it's when you have the intention of doing something, you then make a voluntary delay, and you know that you will be worse off for not doing it. Isn't that fascinating? Isn't that amazing that you think, you know what, I know I'll be worse off if I don't do it, but why don't you do it? This is where things get really interesting, right? This is where things get really, really interesting. Who's not like, this is the most interesting thing I've ever heard in my entire life. For me, when I really started to learn this, because I want to help people. That's what I'm put on this earth to do. I want to help people, inspire people. So when you look to inspire people, the first question you have to ask is what stops people? It's all very well looking at where someone wants to go, which is obviously essential, but what keeps cropping up? What keeps coming up? Procrastination. It keeps coming up. Yes? Ladies and gentlemen, can we please give a big shout out to my mum who is on this broadcast this morning? Because if it wasn't for her, obviously I wouldn't be here. Not just physically, but also probably mentally as well. She's always been a complete, absolute rock for me. She's taught me how not to do things. She's taught me how to do things. But I am who I am because I've made some certain decisions. And even I procrastinate. Everyone procrastinates. Why? Why do we procrastinate? Does anyone know why we do? It's so simple because We associate, we think of pain from doing it. We think of pain. Your brain is only trying to help you. What does your brain love? It loves pleasure. It loves joy. Who loves joy? Who loves pleasure? Everyone loves it. Who wants pain? Most people don't want pain, but you know what? Pain instructs. You might want to write that down. When you're in pain, there's often some instruction there. Your body's trying to tell you something. Even if you have a headache, your brain might be trying to tell you something. You're stressed, you're worried, you're anxious. Pain isn't necessarily a bad thing, and often we learn from pain. But there's a part of your brain we'll look at this week. Tomorrow, I'm so excited to be able to share with you a way of looking at this that you understand that the duck, the duck is only wanting you to have pleasure right now. It doesn't want you to do anything that is uncomfortable and painful. It just wants to protect you. It wants to wrap you up in a nice little blanket so you don't have to get uncomfortable. So the only reason we procrastinate, the only reason, is because we associate pain to doing whatever that thing is. Powerful, right? So what I'm asking you to do today is to wake up a little bit more, open your eyes, open them up a little bit wider like this, and start to become just a bit more aware of all the things in your life that you've put off. And then with that list, we'll start picking, well, what's one or two things? I'm not putting that off anymore. Now is the time. Now is the time. Now what needs to be done. And I'm sure you all understand, because many of you have been with me a long time, or whether you've been with me a few weeks, we all know that one ways that we get hugely better is by saying to ourselves, what has not feeling like something got to do with it? Once we get our head around that I don't feel like doing it. Well, just imagine if someone was ill or sick. Would you say, well, I don't feel like doing it? Well, even if you did say that, you'd say, well, what's that got to do with it? This is what I've got to do. And that's where we really have to become very, very strong. But working together, doing this together, we can do this. Look at that, Yvonne Taylor, 485 days of not missing one broadcast. Who can top that? Well, I know someone who could I can top it. Well, maybe not, because I don't know how many days I've done. But Kate Caruth, I'm sure she could pretty much, it's very similar, keeping a journal for 485 days. How many people put that off, writing it down, showing up for the broadcasts? Why? Because you associate pain, but all you've got to do is what? Just get started. Just get started. So let's recap, because tomorrow we can get a little bit more specific. But what have you learned already today? You know what procrastination is to put forwards until tomorrow. What else is it? Well, it's when you have the intent. I've got the intention of doing something, but then there's a voluntary delay, and you know that voluntary delay will make you worse off. So you might feel a bit of pleasure because you're not doing something you associate pain to, but the back in your head, you know you should have done it. You know you should have done it. And then what comes in? Shame, guilt, anxiety, sadness, depression. But you're better than this. You are better than this. Can you not see how I'm getting better? If you watched my broadcast a year ago, you'd say, wow, Pete, you're so much better than you are today. Why? Because I'm working on this stuff. Because it's what I'm here to do. And that's what I want to help you. Maybe next week, we'll really start looking and drilling into people's purpose in life. Because once you know what you're here to do, you'll be fired up to move towards it. Has this not been a great start to the week? I appreciate every single one of you showing up this morning. 163 of you are watching this live. Goodbye to you guys on Instagram, because I'm going to make a little summary on here. Goodbye. Who's ready for a summary of today? Okay, that's done. Let's go in here. Let's make a summary, a 1-minute summary. Who's ready for a 1-minute summary? You ready? 3, 2, 1. So this is the week all about procrastination. What is procrastination? Procrastination comes from a Latin word to procrastinus, which means to put forwards until tomorrow. So what really is procrastination? Well, we looked at it on here. Procrastination is when you have the intention of doing something. You've got the intention of doing something, then it's a voluntary delay. And then you know you'll be worse off for not doing the thing that you said that you were going to do. Why? Because you associate pain to it. What I'm asking everyone to do today is make a list. Make a list of all the things in your life you've put off. Don't blame yourself and shame yourself for this. Just make the list. Because what we're going to do is we're going to work together to change the world, because so many of you are going to start doing things that you've been putting off. Now is the time. Now is the time. I will be the most consistent force in your entire existence, apart from your parents maybe, of showing up every single day as you become a better version of yourself. I'll see you tomorrow for day 2, where we can have some real fun. Thank you for joining me today, guys. I appreciate you. Get ready. It's your life. It matters. It makes a difference. And I appreciate every single one of you showing up. If you haven't shared this broadcast, please do. How many people do you know need to listen to this? Everybody, even me. I might have to watch myself later. Oh no, I'll put it off. No, I won't. That's a voluntary delay. Have a great day. See you soon. Thanks, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2.